Brother killing brother. Why did it happen, and what was the outcome? And what kind of family does this happen in? Hi everyone, my name is Elizabeth, and I'm here to bring you another Bible story of how crime, wars and sin all started. So, Cain and Able, two brothers born into a world of sin, which is the root of all deception and evil, were born to Adam and Eve. The first son Eve gave birth to, she and Adam named Cain. The second son they named Abel. The Bible is not real clear on whether Cain is the oldest child, because technically there could have been children before him, but they weren't of any importance to any story, so they were never talked about. Nor do we know the age difference between Cain and Abel. They could have been twins for all we know, or they could have had years between them, even siblings between them. Again, siblings with no importance to any story, so they were not mentioned here either. Because the Bible doesn't go into depth on these things, we just assume Cain was born first, then Abel as the second child. I don't know. What do you think? Anyways, as they grew up, each were given a job to do. Abel became a shepherd, and Cain became a farmer, tilling the land and growing fruits and vegetables. Then one day the brothers brought their sacrifices to God. Cain brought the fruit of his labour, I imagine a fruit basket of sorts, and Abel brought the firstborn of his flock. And as it happened, God rejected Cain's sacrifice, but was pleased and accepted Abel's sacrifice. The Bible is not clear as to why God rejected Cain's sacrifice. After all, he was presenting the best of what he had from his garden. But I personally believe it was the attitude in his giving. It was probably an attitude of, look what I can do. I made these crops, and now I'm giving you the best of them, instead of, look at what you have given me, this wonderful ability to grow such beautiful and successful crops. And because of your wonderful blessings, I want to give to you from the first and best of the crops you have provided for me. Which was probably Abel's attitude, was one of great thankfulness. So as a result, Cain gets so angry with his brother because he realizes he fell short, and his brother bested him by truly being grateful and thankful. So Abel gets the acceptance that Cain was craving from God. You know, he wanted that pat on the back, saying what a good boy he was. You can imagine in his mind he's like, Abel, Abel, Abel. How come he gets all the good stuff, and I never get anything? So God notices that Cain's facial expressions and his demeanour have changed. Instead of happiness and excitement, like it was when he showed up for God's approval, it's now one of deep anger and resentment for Abel. Then God asks him, why are you angry? And why has your facial expressions fallen? He continues on saying, if you do well, will you not be accepted? And if you do not do well, sin lies at the door, and its desire is for you, but you should rule over it. In other words, if you lose the attitude, mister, and give out of love and appreciation for me, and not out of selfishness, then you will be accepted by me. But if you do not pay attention to me, then know that sin is waiting outside your door to consume you. You can imagine sin is a big, ugly demon guy, crouching outside your door, waiting to swallow you up and take you to the dark side. But, as you know, he did not give out of love and appreciation. He focused all his energies on being angry at and jealous of his brother. Picture it. My stuff was just as good as Abel's, even better, because I have to work so much harder. I have to till the ground, plant the seeds at just the right time. I have to be patient and make sure the plants are well taken care of daily while they are growing, and that the bugs or the hot or cold weather do not steal my crops. Ugh! All the time and effort it takes to produce the best, most beautiful, and scrumptious tasting food. And what does my brother do? He looks at sheep all day and chases off animals on occasion. Nothing compared to my efforts, and yet he gets all the praise. Man, I really hate that guy. I'm sure his thoughts were something like that. See, that's that ugly demon guy whispering lies into his ear, tempting him to continue on in his own selfish ways, rather than telling God he needs help to let his anger and jealousy go, and to be pleasing to him so that he can do better the next time. But instead of doing the right thing, he chooses to continue letting it fester in his thoughts. that record going round and round, that demon just turning those wheels of discord, until finally Cain decides to take action. He's going to get revenge on his brother. He decides that he will just get rid of his problem by killing him. In his brain, I'm sure he's telling himself, I'll do much better if my brother is not around. Who is he after all? I'm the one who deserves to be the best and have the best. He deserves nothing. He's a simpleton. And besides, who will know? I will just call him over to my field and tell him I have something important to talk about. Then when he's not looking, I will cut him down and bury him right there. Nobody will ever be the wiser. And that's just what he did. Hey Abel, come over here. I got something I want to show you. And in assuming, Cain used some sort of blade, or whatever, and cut him down, and just like that, the world's very first murder. A brother killing a brother. So sad. Cain had all the same opportunities as his brother in life to live happy and fulfilled, but he, like his mother, made a really bad decision. So, after the murder, God comes to Cain and says, "Where is Abel, your brother?" And Cain answers, you can imagine in a wise guy way, "I don't know. Am I my brother's keeper?" And God replies, "What have you done? The voice of your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. So now you are cursed from the earth, which has opened up its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you till the ground, it shall no longer yield its strength to you. A fugitive and a vagabond you shall be on earth." And Cain says, "This punishment is much more than I can bear. You are driving me away from my family and my home and separating me from you. I will be a fugitive and a wanderer on the earth, and anyone who finds me will kill me." So God tells him, "Therefore, whoever kills you, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold." And the Lord put a mark on Cain. That way, if anyone finds him, they'll see the mark and not kill him, for fear of the vengeance of the Lord. So Cain leaves and goes out wandering. For the rest of his life, he lived restlessly, never being able to settle. And now that Abel is gone, his parents have another child. Adam was 130 years old when he and Eve have another son, who they named Seth, who, like his brother Abel, was good in his heart and had a great love for the Lord. Anyhow, we don't know how old Cain and Abel were when the crime of murder was committed. We tend to think of them as teenagers or early 20s, but they could have been in their 90s for all we know. The Bible doesn't give us their ages, but we know they were not older than 130, because that's how old Adam was when he and Eve had Seth. But what we do know is that Cain was the very first person to commit murder. So, what do you think? Do you think he got off too easy? Do you think he should have been given a mark to protect him from people trying to kill him, especially when he himself had no problem killing his brother? Or do you think that his banishment from his home and having a mark of protection fits his crime? Let me know what you think of this story in the comments below, and if there is any other Bible story you are interested in knowing about. Also, if you enjoyed this content, then please hit that like and subscribe button and enable that bell notification so you can always be sure to follow me for a lot more crime-filled stories from the Bible. See you in the next sinful story. Thanks for watching.